Hello, this is Nate and Chris from Multibit Games, and we're here to show you how to play Button Bashers Turbo. Button Bashers essentially exist on a timer. Once this deck is completely emptied and put into the discard pile, and there's no more cards left to pick up, you will take the discard pile, shuffle it, and create a new deck. That is the end of one round. Players will start in round 1, and the game ends once round 3 ends. The other way to end the game is that each character has 20 life points listed up on top of the character sheet, and you'll get these nifty little pins to mark where your life is at. Once your life hits 0, your character is knocked out, and once both of your characters are knocked out, that's the end of the game. The stage cards are going to involve the deck and the number of rounds that have passed in a game. First off, the only time that the effect of the stage card will activate is if the Bash 7 card is on top of the deck during any player's Bash phase. Once that Bash 7 is on top of the deck, at the start of their turn before you Bash, you'll activate your stage card's effect, and then you will perform your normal Bash. At the end of every round, the stage card that is active will go to the back of the stack, and a new stage card will activate. The new stage card will only actually have an effect once it's in play and a new Bash 7 will appear. So if you Bash 7 and a new one appears in the middle of it, it doesn't get its effect till later. So the first thing you want to do when you are setting up Button Bashers Turbo is decide which player is going to go first. You can do that doing rock, paper, scissors, flip a coin, or deciding whichever way you choose. After you've decided which player is going to go first, each player will take turns choosing from the character roster. You want to make a team of 2 characters per player. Starting with the second player, they'll choose their first character, then player 1, then player 2, and then player 1 again. Once you've finished picking, each player should have 2 characters to make a team. Then each player will decide which of the 2 characters they want to be active and which one will sit on the bench. Each player also gets 1 block card, and it's just used as a marker. And then the players will choose 3 random stage cards from the stage card deck, and you will want to set them aside in play, choosing one of them randomly and turning it face up. This face up card will be the first card, stage card in play, and will remain in play until the end of the round. After that, deal 2 cards to each player. This will be their starting hand. Once each player has their starting hand, player 1 will immediately bash. In order to bash, a player will take the top card from the deck, they will check the number on top of the deck, and they will pick up that many cards. From those cards, you will pick 3 cards, add them to your hand, and then discard the rest. The deck and discard pile are shared between all players. After a player has completed their bash, they will choose one of 3 actions to choose from. The actions you can choose from are Burst, Swap, and Block. We're going to go over Burst first, because that takes the majority of the game. The Burst action is where a player can take any attacks from their character sheet and perform as many of them as they can with their hand. In order to perform attack, you must match the directional card and button with what's listed on the character sheet's required attacks, or what's required for their attacks. When you make the attack, you'll do the effect first, what's written here, and then you will deal the damage. During your turn, you can make as many attacks as you want, and every attack you do will deal more damage depending on how many other attacks you've performed during that turn. Once you're done making your attacks, your burst action is over, and you will send any cards in play to the discard pile. The next action that a player can perform is called the swap action. This involves both your characters on your team. In order to perform a swap action, you take your active character and your inactive character, and you switch their positions. only the active character can deal damage or receive damage, so having a good active character out and keeping the other one at bay when it's low HP, good idea. After you've swapped your characters from active to inactive, the new character that went to the bench or inactive spot will gain 3 life points. And then the active character will be able to make 1 attack from the listed attacks on their character card. The final action that you can perform during your turn is a block action. In order to perform a block action, the first thing you need to do is take at least 1 card from your hand, and you're going to want to shuffle it back into the deck. After you've shuffled your hand back into the deck, you want to pick up the same number of cards that you've put back into the deck, plus 1. So you're gaining a little bit of a hand from doing block. After you've shuffled part of your hand back into your deck, you want to place the block marker on your character card to insinuate that you are using a block. During your opponent's turn, as long as you have this block symbol on your character card, any instance of damage that Slamu would receive is reduced by half, rounded down to a minimum of 1. This block card is going to get removed at the beginning of your next turn. And that is pretty much how to play Button Bashers Turbo. Enjoy!